All right, welcome to the fourth and final review of the evening. Up this time is the Fall of Aether Station. Customize your ships, upgrade your fleet, and command your way to victory in this ruthless roguelike tower defense slash real time strategy hybrid. Take on an enemy that learns from your moves and adjusts its own path. Do you have what it takes to persevere? I'm like, so yeah, the marketing paragraph here kind of gives what this game is away, so to speak. That is somebody, I won't say finally, because I gotta imagine that this has happened beforehand. Somebody had the idea to say, what if we took tower defense and rewound the clock? Because, okay, I suppose a brief bit of context here. The tower defense genre was born out of the real-time strategy game genre, specifically Warcraft 3. I think specifically Warcraft 3, The Frozen Throne. Point is, this is something that got generated out of real-time strategy. So Nibble and Byte, the game studio behind this, decided to put together, what if we injected that back into the genre? And the answer is not as dynamic as they were hoping to be. Because, yeah, how do I put this?
Because really, what is ultimately a RTS except for a two-player tower defense game with a whole bunch of extraneous mechanics?
Well, it still plays a lot like a tower defense game at the end of the day. I'm like, and that's not so much your ships. You can freely move. The enemy, they're still on a pathway. And even though that pathway shifts, that shifts in waves. Like, during a wave, that red line here, that's what it's locked into. So yeah, you're still operating mostly under tower defense rules. Yeah, see, Petty's demonstrating, like, you're taking your ships and you're plucking them to where they're aligning towards the line, and yeah, you can move them, but you're still moving them along the, to where the best position around the line. It feels like a tower defense game with a bit of busy work attached to it, if I'm being honest. And it is worth noting there are towers in the game, but those are for the some of the later levels. It's kind of like, I don't want to say RTS. It's one of the it's one of these games where the actual units are locked off until a different level. Like, at the base, at the beginning, the tutorial stage, as they call it, all you can muck about with are the gunboats. Also worth noting is there is a metagame where you have upgradable paths, as you play the game and win. Not just the round in general. Honestly, that's another place where this game, I think, seemingly knowingly fumbles a bit. Like, in a proper stage, it's up to 60 waves. But, you only have to play 10 of them in order to get to the next level. The 60 is for the hardcore, seemingly. Like, And like I said, as you play through the game, you will unlock other units, higher tiered units. Like the next one up is the destroyer ships, which are much larger. Though, I won't say slower because I found the gunboats to be very slow initially. That's why I put all my upgrades into as many upgrades as I could into speed. It's kind of where that's where my prioritization lied. And of course the
Speed
waves
is
operate.
powerful.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and of course the waves operate in pretty standard tower defense escalation. It's like the further along the waves are, the more ships show up, and you have to take that kind of planning into account. And honestly, that's about all there is to this game. Like I said, it's trying to do some new things, or trying to be less of a traditional tower defense game. But honestly, I feel this half measure. How do I put this? It didn't work for me. Like, it's at the point where I was just like, I just kind of want to play an actual RTS game or an actual tower defense game. The in-between wasn't all that interesting because just going back to what I was saying at the beginning, this felt like playing a tower defense game with extra steps. Still A for effort. Or E for effort, however that's supposed to go. Maybe those who would watch this review would disagree with that assessment. Like, I don't know, like I said, it's a fine game, and there's nothing wrong with it. I just didn't feel like it came together with what it was trying to accomplish. Just to be clear on that point. Anyway, the game retails for $12.99. Surprisingly, no sales. Given that it just came out, and we are at the tail end of Steam's great tower defense game sale thing.
I guess it should be noted that there is a free demo available if you want to give the game a whirl.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Petty, is there anything you want to add to the conversation?
Game's hard. If you don't know what you're doing, I failed the tutorial.
Yeah. Like, this game is also, you will have to readjust your thinking.
Yeah.
Because it's not a tower defense game.
Yeah. Because my brain wanted to play it like a tower defense game where I could just overwhelm the enemy. It's like, nah, shit, that's not going to work.
Like, yeah. I'm like, worst kind of, like, it's not a tower defense game, not a pure one. It operates along the lines, but you will have to think outside the box, so to speak, because you can and you will have to move your units around.
Right. And apparently you can station them around the like station thing.
Yeah.
To actually get the enemies off of it, because you're probably not going to kill them by the time they get to it. I didn't know that was a thing till I just about died.
Yep. You can do that, but it's not an optimal strategy either, because once
they
again,
already start doing damage once they get there. Yeah.
Well, it's also bit further into the waves. You'll just have an overwhelming amount of ships at the station doing damage, and then you lose.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, this is this is a different tactical mindset. I will praise it for that, but like I said, I just felt like I wanted to play a actual RTS game at that stage.
Yeah. This is one of those, it's not bad, just your brain isn't wired to play this optimally.
Yeah, it's like it wasn't my cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
More than anything else. So, like I said, it's more subjectively it didn't work for me than this is a bad game kind of ranking here.
Because yeah, I'm used to tower defense games where if the enemy makes to the end, they just pop. I don't need to send ships in or send resources in to go rescue the endpoint.
Yeah. Some games are like that. There's a staggering array of tower defense games.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, this isn't a proper tower defense games. This is a tower defense real-time strategy hybrid, and if nothing else, it is that. And
mm-hmm.
you will have to approach this differently than a tower defense game. It's more like an Avatar tower defense game, but it's it's full integration of that.
You're spawning multiple avatars, not just have one avatar dropping ships off.
So, anyway, I think that'll about do it for the Fall of Aether Station here. And indeed, that'll about do it for our review session. So, coming up on the week ahead, there is a new episode of MSP planned for this Wednesday. Everything should be normal for that one, as normal as that show gets. Anyway, in terms of Fragments Silicon, on Wednesday, August 7th, we will be welcoming you back to the program, James Montagna of Way Forward. Yes, indeed, Way Forward is returning to the program, as is James. We talked to him quite a number of years ago at this point. I think I measured it at 5. So since that interview, James has gone on to be the director of Advance Wars 1 and 2 Boot Camp, and more congruent to what we're going to be talking about. Our focus, Yars Rising, another Atari game.
Don't think I'm not going to ask him about the AI though in Boot Camp.
I'd imagine I imagine a fair few questions about Boot Camp is going to come up there, because it's it's a Nintendo title, it's Advance Wars and all that stuff. I'm like, but I'm just saying the actual focus of the interview is Yars Rising. It's the thing that they Way Forward wants us to talk about, and marketing materials. It's coming out in like a month here, like maybe a little less. I have to look. Anyway, we do have a Friday show as well, as we'll be welcoming Michael Boyar of Team Run. We were supposed to have him a few weeks ago, but he had a last-minute family emergency to deal with. So, we're going to be talking about Broken Lens this Friday. I look forward to that, and you should as well. And until next time, I shall wish you good gaming.